let us start the meeting
Okay.
because there are like many students now and they will be joining in a while. So I would like to start by welcoming all the participants, all the attendees of this colloquium, and both the panelists and my co-host during this session, Dr. Sohalia Parveen. I'm very thankful to all of you for joining and making this event happen. So let me start by introducing both the speakers. So I would request Dr. Sohalia Parveen to please introduce the speakers to our audience.
Good afternoon, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. I really feel privileged to be a part of this webinar series, and it's a big opportunity for all of us to have experts of different fields on one platform sharing their views. In this session, I'm happy to introduce one of such experts, Mohammad Fahad Khan, sir, from travel and tourism industry. Welcome, sir. Presently, Fahad, sir, is a senior manager operations in Vesna Tours and Travels Private Limited. Mr. Fahad is a strategic leader with a progressive career of more than 13 years in travel and tourism industry with exceptional customer service skills and extensive knowledge of providing travel arrangements for leisure and corporate clients. Also, with this strong exposure to US, Canada, and UK markets, and his area of expert includes corporate university travel management, tour management, MIC and events, hotel bookings, vendor management, and negotiations. Moreover, he is an alumnus of the Department of Commerce. Once again, welcome, sir. Welcome from the Aligarh Muslim University. Sir, all the participants, they are waiting to hear you about this particular industries, the situations that we are looking forward to get an exposure about what the best of the brains think, the brains that you people like you people have during and after COVID-19 situations in this industry. Welcome, sir. With this, thank you, Saim.
Should I start?
Yes, please.
Okay, great. Yeah. First of all, I would like to say assalamu alaikum to all the participants who are here in this webinar today. And I wanted to convey my gratitude to Dr. Imran Salim Sahab, who gave us opportunity to be here today and be part of this webinar. And thanks to Professor Saim and Ms. Sohalia Parveen for coordinating this webinar today. As we are talking about tourism industry, and this panel is on tourism, I would like to start something with my own company, like what all we do, what my company does, and what share we have in this industry since last almost 10 years now. So I'll start with sharing my screen with the presentation on my company first, then we'll further go on the points that you have asked us to talk on. Okay. Sam, I need your permission to share screen.
Please, sir, go ahead.
It's disabled actually. My screen sharing is disabled. Can you just enable it?
Just a second. Let me. I hadn't disabled it. That's why. Sharing is open for everyone. One participant can share at a time.
It's not giving me.
Just a second.
Sure.
Okay. Now you have the permission.
Got it. Yep. Shows here. Second. So as you all know, I work for this company called Vesna Tours Private Limited. This company was started in 2011. And it was started by a very, he's a alumni of AMU. And he started this company with a vision to, cater to a very niche clientele. We are not into traditional travel market in tourists and tourism. And we're not catering to tourists who are just going for leisure purpose. We are into a very niche segment. We cater to travelers from universities across the globe. So here I'll show you a brief on what our company does. As you can see, we are leader in education travel and creating experiential journeys. This is the story so far. We work with almost 8 to 10 destinations, like we serve India, UAE, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Qatar, Turkey, Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia. We are actually selling these destinations to clients across the globe. We are an inbound company for these guests for all these destinations. We are headquartered in New Delhi, and we provide travel management services for study tours, meetings, incentives, conferences, exhibitions, and a wide range of uplifting cultural, artistic, and spiritual travel experiences. We have a loyal customer network of around 300 universities across the globe, and they are our customers from almost 20 years now. They have been working with my boss since like 25 years. So they are very loyal to us just because we provide them what they need. This is our philosophy: growth through sustainability. We believe in sustainable tourism. We don't believe in, destroying or in any, to have any kind of mismanagement or any kind of disrespect for any destination that we are catering to. That's our CEO, Mr. Mishkat Ahmed. He is the one who started this company. He has experience of more than 2 decades now. He started this company in 2011. Now that's our director, Ms. Muskan. She again has a very good knowledge and a very vast experience in this industry. Apart from business development, she takes care of sales and marketing of the company. This was Ms. Reshma Naqvi. She used to be with us before the pandemic. However, she has left the company now. So I'm just skipping her slide. Now here comes, so I am the senior manager of operations in the company. I look after all the growth caters to. And then there's Mr. Sanjay Agarwal, he's our finance head. This is our team members, Kunal, Vikram, all team associates are here. This is our global network. This is what I wanted to show you. We have network in all major countries. Like we have network in USA. This is Miss Kathy Patterson. She is our representative in USA. She is a very, very passionate traveler, and she is a graduate. Her career began in graduate admissions at NYU, Stern School of Business, and has served as Assistant Dean for Admissions and Financial at Fordham University MBA program. Now she works for us as a representative in US. And this is Mr. Philip Cooke. He is in UK at the moment. He is an international marketing and public relations officer and representative for different other companies as well, and our company in UK. This is Ms. Billy Malik. She is a representative in Canada. She hails from India, from Mumbai, but now settled in Canada. This is our global advantage. Like if you are working with Vesna, what advantages you have? We are experienced in our destinations. We have vast knowledge, planning as well as development of programs. We are able to train planner, answer questions that come up before the trip. Like these all the points that generally all companies does, but we ourselves to these destinations. So my company always, believe in educating their own staff for these destinations, whichever we are selling. So most of the destinations that we sell, one of us have been there once in a lifetime at least. These are our areas of expertise: education travel, leisure and special interest journeys, incentives, and conferences. So in educational travel, we cater to, recruitment tours, global MBA international residences, faculty-led study tours, global immersion tours, alumni seminars and workshops. Then we also cater to leisure and special interest like bespoke vacations, art and
Okay, then.
culture. There are so many. And then we cater to incentives as well. High-end company reward programs, incentives, travel rewards, exchange programs. Then there are conferences, international congresses, association meets. These are our areas where we work. We work in India, UAE, Nepal. I told you already that. Then these are the key benefits. Customized itineraries to meet your leisure academic meeting or recruiting goals. We have associate office in all these countries. We use first class accommodation in these countries. Then the transportation arrangement is the world class that we use. So these are all the benefits. Then these are the advantages that we consider we are good at. And these are our accreditations. Like we are associated with all these world famous organizations, PATA, ASTA, IGLTA, Indian Association, and incredibleindia.org. So this was a brief presentation on the company. Because we are not a typical tourist-driven company, we work for the universities. We cater to their road shows, their educational events. So that's why we are a little bit different than any other company who's working in this industry. So now I will go on the points that Professor Syme has asked me to talk on. Give me a second. Okay, so the first point he asked me to talk about your career advice. My advice here is that instead of jumping into the market right away after completing the course, you should look for further enhancing your resume. It could be by enrolling in online courses or by learning any foreign language properly, not for the sake of a certificate. That's what we have seen. People don't take it seriously, like the French language that we have at AMU. Nobody takes it seriously. So you should do it properly, as this will add value to your degree and eventually to your resume. The course that we do at college doesn't give the exact picture of the actual business needs. It only gives us some basic introduction of the industry. Hence, do not expect that you are completely ready for the market with just a degree. Our industry basically has three sections. One is travel agencies, second is airline, and third is hotels, which are further divided into subsections. Each section demands one must have a skill, and that is excellent communication skills. If you aspire to be a travel agent, then I would suggest, in addition to your degree, you also do certification for CRS like Galileo and Amadeus, so that the reach of your resume increases and there are more chances of getting considered. In case you are interested in airlines, then you also have to be well versed in English, presentable, and need certification in CRS. That's Galileo and Amadeus. And if you are interested in hotels, then I would suggest you take up at least 1 year diploma course in hotel management in addition to your degree, as it will serve you a gateway to the hotel industry. Because most of the hotel, they don't consider any other degree other than hotel management diploma or degree for getting you considered for the job. Nowadays, companies look for multi-talented people. Those who, addition to operation work, can also do sales or can contribute in companies' IT-related issues, networking problems, so that company doesn't have to hire more people for these jobs. Brush up your skills in MS Office. This is the most needed tool in every company. Try and get good hold on Word, PowerPoint, and Excel. If you're a master in Excel, you have bright chances of getting considered. You can look for courses online. There are several certifications that IATA offers. Refer its website and choose a relevant course according to your interest. There are several other websites like MOOC.org, Coursera.org, etc., which has courses from international universities which will add value to your resume. You can also look for a course in digital marketing, as now the trend has completely changed and everything is marketed online, and internet has broadened the reach of for everyone. And if you have that skill which can help company in marketing, then you would definitely look for hiring you. They would definitely look for hiring you. And as I initially said, try and learn any foreign language. This is something which will give you advantage on any other aspirant. Choose a language which is a bit tough and people generally refrain from learning it. There are so many people who can speak French and Spanish languages. However, as far as Chinese and Korean are concerned, there are very few. These are just few examples. There are many other languages which you can look for. You can also look for doing certification in sales. This will be a great add-on to your resume. Post-COVID, every company would strive for business. And if along with your degree, you'd have a certification in sales, your chance of getting selected would be much higher. Now, the second point is your career option. Well, in normal conditions, there were ample number of career options. Your degree can easily lead you to any of these sections of our industry, which I mentioned before. However, with increasing competition, I suggest you should add value to your resume with certain other certifications and improve your chances of getting selected. But in current scenario, with COVID doing rounds, I wouldn't give you any false hopes. Industry is severely hurt and there are hardly any jobs this year. I would suggest don't look for jobs this year. Rather try and utilize this time to enhance your skills so that when you get into the market, there's nothing stopping you. The third point is self-employment opportunities in the sector. Again, in the normal conditions, this would have been the best option, provided if you have money to invest. And here, out of all three sections, you are left with only one option, travel agency, as you just can't start a hotel or an airline on your own, unless you have that much money. However, rather than straight away starting your entity right after the course, I would suggest that you should get into the market, do a job for a year or two, and then think of starting your company. As with this process, you will get to understand the basics of that business and it will help you prosper. But in the current scenario, this is again not suggested. Those who already have owned companies doesn't have any business to run the company at the moment. Hence, if you have any plans to open your company, this is not the right time, not at all. The next point is skills currently in demand. See, this is no rocket science. Our industry is very easy and simple. Even a simple graduate can get a job. But the first and the foremost skill that is needed is your communication skill. Your command over English language, since our industry deals completely in English and people with good communication skills are always in demand, always in demand. During these times when there are no jobs in market, I would suggest you take up personality development courses and brush up your communication skills. As and when the market will reopen and companies would start functioning and jobs would float in the market, they would definitely be looking for sales staff who can bring them business. And if you have good communication skills, then eventually you would be good at sales. This would increase your chances of getting considered. Other than that, your knowledge of MS Office and geographical location across the globe is quite relevant. Then the last point is impact of COVID. See, this has changed the face of entire travel and tourism industry. There is no case study available in light of which we can say that after this or that period, everything will be normal and flourish again. Ours is one of the glamorous industry. It depends upon getting connected with each other physically. That's how it's affected the most. The damage is still going on and we don't know where it's going to stop. The entire world is at standstill. Experts are saying it will take at least 2 to 3 years for our industry to get back to pre-COVID days once the vaccine is available. and we don't know when the vaccine would be available. Still a theory. Travel companies, hotels, and travel agents, they all are gearing up and getting ready to start functioning again. But the most important element is still missing, the traveler. We don't have travelers and don't know by when we could expect one. As one set of rules for getting the visa and a number of formalities which a traveler would have to fulfill, including medical clearances and all, this will again restrict and discourage people from traveling. We were expecting that our government would come forward and help the tourism industry as it contributes and generates approximately 13% jobs in the country. But there is nothing so far for us from the government. They simply said you need to be Atmanirbhar. Nevertheless, we're still positive, and as per my discussion with our Indian industry partners and with people worldwide, all countries are now focusing on domestic travelers and domestic MICE business. And we are hopeful that it will start rolling very soon, inshallah. COVID is with us for a long time now, and we have to learn to live with it. And if I quote Mr. Sundar Pichai, CEO of Google, he said, "You will prevail." The reason he said this because so many others have done it before you. 100 years ago, people did graduated after a deadly pandemic. 50 years ago, the class of 1970 graduated in the midst of the Vietnam War. And nearly 20 years ago, the class of 2001 graduated just months before 9/11. They had to overcome new challenges, and in all cases, they prevailed. The long arc of history tells us we have every reason to be hopeful. So be hopeful. He said there are probably things about current situation which will make you impatient. Don't lose that impatience. It will eventually lead you to create new ways which the generation before you could never dream of. Be impatient, and it will create the progress the world needs. You would make the world better in your own way. Hence, be positive, keep an open mind, and history will remember the class of 2020. With this note, I'll finish my talk on this topic today, and I'm open to questions now. Thank you so much, guys, for listening to me.
Thank you, Fahad sir, for your valuable views. And just to focus on enhancing the resume, not the fake certificates that just focus on just to increase the quantity of the certificates, but to have the quality in the nature, in the attitude, so that the students and the participants and the person who is going to give the interview can really show the talent they have. Means basically the degree is just the ticket to the interview. What quality you have, that should be seen in the interview.
Absolutely.
I hope I'm getting the thing that you have already discussed. Of course, the good communication skills that we are already focusing, and we do focus in our every class that our senior teachers also tell the students again and again just to go for the communication skills and just to enhance their personality. Means not only just to focus on the subjects and the courses, but to focus like overall personality, overall development of the personality, which this particular industry require most. And also the multi-talented people, the talent, that tag is everywhere, I think. And this particular talent tag thing that should be like picked up from the population when they go for the interview. And with this particular thing, I would like to thank Fahad sir, and I would like to introduce our next speaker, the eminent speaker, who is also an alumnus from the Department of Commerce, Aligarh Muslim University. And presently, he is a senior officer, passenger sales, Western India, Thai Airways International. And Mr. Vamik has over 13 years of work experience in travel industry, including 12 years in agency and corporate sales at Thai Airways International. He is heading and managing sales team for Western India region. Mr. Vamik is also proficient at handling airline sales and customer service by delivering quality services. Currently located at Mumbai, he possesses thorough experience in the field of airways. So now the person from the airlines aviation industry is going to throw light on the travel and tourism industry, because it's very necessary to know what is the criteria now, what presently the things are going on, because we are living in a situation of COVID-19, this coronavirus situation. Like during this particular situation and after this particular situation, what will happen, what the students can opt, what they have to do now, what courses, what certificates they should opt for, and what kind of skills and abilities nowadays when they are free at home they can do online. So we are looking forward so that you can enhance and enlighten our students and participants. Thank you, sir.
I would like to
Sure.
take just half a minute. Actually, I was away all this time due to my poor internet connection. I was unable to listen. Every minute I was getting reconnected. Now I have changed my connection and now I can see and listen to all of you. So sorry for not being there. Uh, okay, Wang bhai, just continue. We'll take up questions at the end.
Sure. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Professor Imran Salim and Professor Nawab Ali Khan for giving me this opportunity, and of course the coordinator as well. It's a very good platform to connect, and it's really an honor to connect with those people where I spent 5 years of my life. So it's really good to connect with you people. So I'll just quickly introduce myself, because I don't have anything to show, because actually I'm also locked down at my hometown. I'm not in Mumbai right now. So I'll quickly brief that what my company and what I do there. So I work for Thai Airways International. It's a national carrier of Thailand, just like Air India. India is a national carrier. Air India is a national carrier of India. So Thai Airways is a national carrier of Thailand. So we have a like global presence, and I'm based in Mumbai. Thai Airways, actually, this year we have completed 60 years of operations in India. So fortunately or unfortunately, you can say that this is a global crisis, and this year we have completed 60 years in Indian market. And we have like pan-India presence. We have almost 90 flights per week from all over the India. We fly from Delhi, Mumbai, Calcutta, Bangalore, Chennai, and Hyderabad. All major cities we are flying. Plus, we have like subsidiary airline as well, which is called Thai Smile, which we operate from 2-tier cities like Lucknow, Jaipur, Varanasi, Gaya. All these sectors we are flying into Thailand. And plus, right now we are operating almost 60 countries. We have a presence almost in 60 countries, except USA, we are flying almost everywhere. In Europe also we have very presence, and plus we have very strong presence in South-ish, East Asian countries. So it's a global airline, of course, and we have a very good connectivity for all the sectors. So as far as like aviation is concerned, aviation industry is the most affected industry right now. So I'm working in this company since last almost 10 years, and I had Western India sales for Thai Airways, which includes like the whole Maharashtra, Gujarat, and all these regions. So what I do basically, my job is to handle all Western India sales, and I have to sell my product to the travel agents, to the online travel portals like Make My Trip, Yatra, Clear Trip. You must have heard about all these names. So I'm liaising with all these companies. I'm responsible for contracting with these companies, and I'm here to generate sales for the company. So and so just a minute. Okay, so this was a like brief introduction what I handle, and what I'll come to the next point, what options they have. So if you talk about like as far as aviation industry is concerned, as I mentioned that this is the like global crisis, and aviation is the most affected industry right now. but like there are a lot of airlines which the career options are quite open because there are multiple airlines who are flying from India, and we have a very strong market. We have very strong market for that. For aviation, is if you want to make career options in aviation industry, you should have a strong knowledge of like any of the GDS. As Mr. Fahad has already mentioned, that you should have like certification course in Amadeus or Galileo or like Sabre. These are the three major GDS, and it depends on the airline to airline that which GDS they are using right now. So it depends on that, but like majorly all the airlines, majorly they're using Amadeus right now. So if you can have a certification course on Amadeus, it will be better on that. And as I mentioned that plus just so I'll move to the next point. What is it? So basically, this was my career advice to him. It's not only like, as I mentioned, that travel and tourism industry is badly affected this year, as Fahad has also mentioned, that this is a global crisis due to pandemic which has happened. So this year will be really difficult in terms of job opportunities. But it's like we should never lose a hope, and we have to be positive. And of course, there will be a lot of career options open up once everything is over, and it will definitely it will get over very soon, and we'll come back very strongly. In terms of like if you talk about aviation industry, you have like, as I mentioned, that there are multiple airlines which are flying now. A lot of LCC carriers are also there which are flying from India, and they have like very good like career opportunity with LCCs as well. So that's it from my side. And if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer all of them. And I'm sure I'll be able to help on those things.
Thank you very much, Vamik Bhai, for enlightening our students with your knowledge and your experience. Now, there are some questions, if you can see in the chat group, students are asking. So I'm putting those
Okay.
questions to you. So, for the question, first question is, what are the chances of having a rise in sustainable tourism in coming days? As of now, we have understood the importance of nature and environment. Bhai, I would like you to have this. Unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a very good question because nowadays government is very concerned about nature and environment, and all companies which are pertaining to tourism in India and abroad, they all are taking steps for sustainable tourism, because none of the destination or the country wants the monuments or whatever product they are selling to get destroyed. So they all are taking ample steps to cater to this need, and we are educating our clients like who are traveling. We are trying to put up some posters. The government is trying to put some posters, and educating people who are visiting these places to not disturb or destroy anything which is valuable in terms of history and our yeah geography. So this is really a continuous and continuing growing thing, which is government is taking very deep steps into it.
Okay, I think you must have got the answer, Akam. Now, there's another question. This is targeted towards you, Amit Bhai.
Okay.
One student asking, what are the precaution and measures for the passenger in COVID and post-COVID situation in aviation industry?
Okay. So as far as like precautions and measures are concerned, all the airlines are taking precautions as per their like norms, and it is like very much as per the aviation standards, as per the rules and regulations which we are following. So this is like very much safe to travel. Once it will start, they will be like well equipped with everything, or the whole aircraft is like sanitizing. Each and every airline is doing their they're investing a lot of money on this, and they are trying to do their best to cater their passengers, and they're making sure that it will be safe to travel with them.
Okay, so there's another one.
There's another question. What are some of the best recommended short certification diploma courses to take up in the aviation travel sector? And what about virtual courses through online method? I think this question is for Fahad sir, that the students and the participants, they are asking like which courses, which short-term courses and online courses, virtual courses will be best in this situation to opt for. So please unmute yourself.
Yeah, so I was saying that there are certain courses available on IATA website. If you can go on to IATA website, there are several courses available. It depends on your interest, what exactly you want to do. Like if you want to go into hotel industry, if you want to go to into airlines, or if you want to go into travel agencies. So there are certain courses with different interests available on IATA. There are certain courses available on Coursera.com. All these websites are offering ample number of courses. These are all certification courses, and you can take any of them up to your interests. So I won't say that any particular course would lead you to a particular job. No, it depends on your interest, what exactly you want to do.
Okay, there's another one. After this, how do airports screen for potentially infected people? I think this is more of kind of general knowledge question rather than.
No, I'll answer that, because like all the airports in India or abroad, or like they are doing their like testing, screening, and everything they are doing, and they are trying to like in. I'll just throw some light that in terms of domestic travel has started already in India with like limited flights, but they are operating the flights, and they are trying to do like web check-in instead of like giving you physical boarding passes. Once you enter at the airport, it will be like you will be screened, and if if you're affected and if you have like temperature and all that, of course they won't allow you to travel. You have to be like physically fit, and everything should be in place. And if your temperature is fine, then you can go through the screening. There will be no physical boarding pass. You have to do web check-in well in advance. You just have to go at the baggage counter. You have to drop your baggage and just go to the security check. That's it. That's what you have to do.
Okay, and this one, there's another one. Students asking, is domestic demand expected to recover faster than international demand?
Exactly. So actually, if you see next 6 months, of course, international travel will be affected, and it's already affected. But onward, like 6 months, international travel will be very less, because only like business travel will be there. And business travel is also depend on that particular country, how they are allowing the visa restrictions and everything. So it will be depend on that. Of course, domestic travel will definitely increase, and demand will be much more higher in terms of domestic, because there are a lot of other segments which are your like leisure, MICE. So it will be like within domestic, at least for next 6 months.
Okay.
Maybe next year it will be, yeah.
Yeah, Mike, please.
Yeah, I also wanted to add something to this question of domestic demand. Yes, almost every company is now focusing on domestic traveler, domestic MICE business. And there is one more interesting thing which is coming to light is domestic travelers are more interested into, car rental tours. Like they are not taking group tours, or they would not be taking group tours. They would be more interested into individual, very cozy, car, individual kind of tours. Like they will just hire a car from you, you just book them a destination and they will drive themselves. So that kind of thing is also coming up. So we are expecting this kind of domestic travel. Yeah.
There's another one, Vamik bhai, for you. Where is it? Uh, will the aviation industry would make a burden on the pocket of the travelers in the future?
I also know. I also want to know this particular question. What will be the, how they will be like ticketing us? Like,
Okay.
will we
So
have to pay more and more for the tickets?
see, once we start like international travel, once we start international flights, of course, like demand will be less. So of course, we won't charge you the higher fares initially, but gradually, yeah, little bit we have to mix somewhere. Like might be because in airline also there are a lot of segmentation. We have like business traveler, we have leisure travel, we have MICE, we have weddings as well. So we also know that which segment we have to charge more and which segment we have to charge less. Like leisure travel is like a middle class family of 4 hour traveling, so they have like limited budget and all that. So we know that we have to keep our pricing accordingly.
Again,
So
yeah, please continue.
yeah, so it will, yeah.
Okay, and there's one other one. Will car rental type of travel can boost small travel agencies?
Yes, of course, it will. I mean, if you have that kind of business,
Yeah.
definitely it will boost your business. Yeah,
Okay.
there is no doubt.
So okay, so these are the questions. I think I've
I
taken up.
think there is one more question.
Okay.
Like the one of the students, Shahrukh, there he's asking virtual reality and future of tourism means what is there tomorrow? What next? Like especially in the tourism industry, like this particular smart tourism destination can enhance tourists after COVID-19.
Well, I don't understand what it does he exactly want to know, because if he's talking about virtual reality, so that is something different. Like you just sit at your home, just put on a virtual glasses on your face and just look at the destination. That's not a tourism, right? So I don't understand what exactly is the question. Like
That's a different thing.
it's not a future of tourism. Yeah,
Exactly. It doesn't have to do anything with tourism.
With the tourism
exactly.
industry.
Yep.
Okay. And there's one more. In fact, two more.
Two more questions, yes.
Yeah. What are your plans
Yeah,
and
sure.
strategies to gear up tourists and traveling in the times to come? How to frame a policy to convince the travelers that it is safe now to travel?
Well, I believe we don't have to place in a policy to make convince people, because after this pandemic, people are so frustrated that people want to go out and explore the world. That's the reality. But again, uh, they need to have money for that. So gradually, we have to create programs within the budget of the people so that we can, lure them, to make them understand that yes, it's not eating up all their pockets. So that, I mean, budgeting could be a better policy, I would say, to lure the people.
Okay. Then there's is government there for the betterment of tourism industry? Please tell us what you can see from their side. There's another one.
Well, I think
See,
they had done something for the airlines, but I haven't come across anything that they have done for travel agencies or hotel industries as of now. Nothing.
Yes.
Vamik may put some light on it.
Yes.
even for the even for the airlines also hardly they have done anything, and they've already mentioned that you have to be Atmanirbhar. So like honestly speaking, travel and tourism industry now they have understood that they're not getting any aid from the government and they have to do it by themselves. So definitely they are like trying to do whatever best possible they can. Like a lot of the lot of like big companies like Thomas Cook, SOTC, and all these tour operators, they are busy enhancing their product, and they are making their product in such a way after this COVID-19 crisis, at least their product will be ready to cater their clients. And in these time, they are building a strong relationship with their existing clients, so that at least they can cater those clients instead of getting new clients immediately.
Correct.
So there is one last one, but I think it has been taken up. What are the plans to rebuild MICE? That was
Well, as far as MICE is concerned, we are trying to reopen all our resources for rebuilding mice again. I'll just give you an example. The the web the conferences or the road shows that we used to do for universities, the education fairs. So now what we are doing is we are doing virtual fairs for them. This is what we are actually planning. So we will invite students, parents for the fair, for the education fair, and we'll arrange a virtual setup. Like the representative from the universities will be sitting in US, and we'll be doing a virtual one-to-one meeting or a group meeting for students for them. So we'll be hiring, the banquet spaces for arranging these kind of events, and there will be we'll be taking care of this social distancing. We'll be taking care of this sanitization and all. So we are trying and promoting to reopen MICE in every way possible.
So okay, I also would like to answer this question because MICE is a little different in aviation industry. As far as MICE is concerned, it is basically like top corporate companies having a lot of moments around the year. They have multiple, they have distributors, they have again, it's like MICE, meaning like, it's like target based incentives, which they are giving to the companies. And they have like distributors, when they achieve their target, they give free tour to them. So like when there is no business right now, of course, it will be difficult for them to put MICE requirement, especially for international, but definitely domestic 100% will be there. So that's what I said, ki domestic travel will be definitely there.
Okay, thank you very much. I think these are the questions, and most of them has been answered by our experts. So I would like to, in the end, I would like to thank all of you. I would like to first thank all the participants of this session. Then my co-host, Dr. Sohalia Parveen, and both the panelists who have spared us their precious time. And since they both are alumnus of the department, it is kind of, uh, we have on
It's a
them.
reunion.
It's a reunion.
Yeah, it's kind of reunion.
It's kind of a reunion with the students of tourism. So thank you both the panelists for your.
Sam, actually, I just want to add one more point because it's like I am on this platform. So
Yeah.
I'd just like to convey this message: ki first of all, don't lose hope, because of course this is a global crisis and nothing is like permanent.
Absolutely.
So you have to be very positive about all this situation, what is happening. You have to learn new skills, as Mr. Fahad has already mentioned, that you have to go for certification courses and you have to develop your skills. You go through the destinations, and first of all, you have to know that what is your interest. This is very important because otherwise you'll be confused at what to do and what not to do. So this is very important. You have to be very clear that what you're going to do after this course. What is your area of interest? If you want to make your career in sales, you have to do the certificate courses in terms of that. If you want to do operations, then you have to go as per the operations, because actually when we left, so we also felt that there is no guidance to us, and we were actually lost at that time, honestly speaking. So that's why I want to share this. This is very important. So that you all will be clear with your mindset that what you're going to do and what you have to do. And most of people like understand that sales is only like when you are on field. So this is completely wrong, because a lot of we have like major tour operators who has like in-house sales as well. You just have to sit and you just have to have the product knowledge, and you just need to convey the customers and the clients. So this is very important. And last point I want to cover, if you want to make your career options in aviation industry, so you have to do the ITA course. Is very important. It is very, very important. And plus the GDS knowledge is very important. At least one of the GDS you should know. So this is the thing which I want to end. And plus we both are available anytime. So you can, if you have any queries like further as well, so Mr. Sam will help you. And of course we are there.
This was the first-hand feedback. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your support, and we'll be hoping for a better future. Our Dean sir is not here right now. He was a while ago. He must have interacted with both of you and would have invited you definitely. So I am on his behalf inviting you that whenever things get normal and we'll start running in the normal course. So I would love to see both of you in the department interacting with the students and helping them getting properly placed. So again, thank you all of you, and thank you very much for this session. So now signing off.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you so
Saim.
much.
Thank you
Thank you,
for
sir. Thank
inviting
you.
us. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Sohalia. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mamik sir.
Thank you.